Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, if you're anything like this guy, when lunchtime rolls around, you're in a predicament because you're hungry, but you know that if you eat food, you're going to be hit with a wave of tiredness, and this happens to me every single day. So, I've kind of wrestled with how I want to try and not get tired. And one option is to not eat lunch or not eat entirely almost. I've experienced 3 days without food multiple times. And I like fasting. I really like the way I feel when I don't eat food. When your body is deprived of glucose, your brain functions much better. So, here's what I've just done right now. I've just come home, I've just eaten lunch, and my lunch was about half a pound of beef, avocado, pickles, and some cheese. And then I always, after I eat that, I eat Greek yogurt with blueberries, bananas, and honey. And that's a pretty big meal. So obviously, I'm going to feel somewhat tired after eating that. I know it's not crazy, but I've just sat here and watched this guy. His name is Nick Angelo, and if you have not watched his videos, fitness and health, this guy is a hidden gem. He had a YouTube channel that had 10 or 20,000 subscribers before, and I think he took his channel down. But nonetheless, his videos are all back, and he's insanely jacked. Anyways, he inspired me to go get some vegetables, because he's big on vegetables and the importance of getting micronutrients in. So, long story short, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride my bike to the grocery store because I want to get outside and I want to not ferment in my house. And number two, we don't have any vegetables. My parents don't buy a whole lot of vegetables, so I'm either going to go to Aldi or I'm going to go to Fresh Market. And I'm going to get some vegetables. I'll probably bring a backpack because that's just easier. And I'll come back and maybe cook them up. Who knows? But I have this shirt on under this, and it's cropped. So it's slightly sus, but maybe we rock sus. I don't know. I also fear that this might be too heavy because it's this weird intermediate temperature that might be hot and might be cold, of which I do not know. I think I'll be good though. Probably shouldn't think about it too much. But I gotta grab a bag to put my groceries in when I come back. And I think the act of biking to the grocery store and getting vegetables, maybe some fruits too, that's very ceremonial and almost poetic. So let's go grab a bag. This is my school backpack. Not gonna use that. This is my house if you haven't seen it. But of course, every great human has a backpack that's just for work, and then also a backpack that is for non-work, traveling perhaps. And that's what I've got. So, it's empty for moments like this, when I want to bike to the grocery store and put vegetables in my bag. We're going to fill up some water. That's pretty much all we need. Cool. Hello, buddy. This is my trusty steed. I got it off Facebook Marketplace for $170. And it's definitely an expensive bike, so. By the way, this is so fun because the weather is honestly perfect for this. Almost a little colder than I thought it was, but it's great. Look at this. A bike stand. How nice. We're definitely gonna tie this thing up. Definitely gonna need some apples. Carrot. All right. And now I'm gonna do something I've never done, which is put my groceries in a backpack. I'll show you, do a little breakdown of what I got, but perfectly in here. And then that only took like 10 minutes for me to get here. Crazy just seeing fans all over. You guys are savages. On the way back now. All right, we've made it back to the humble abode. And now we're gonna talk about what we got. This might be a good spot to film videos. Let's go item by item and dissect what we got and why we got it. Things first. We got these. So one of the things I was doing for a while was when I would make scrambled eggs, which is my breakfast every day, I would put diced mushrooms, portobello mushrooms in there. And it adds a nice flavor, a really, really nice flavor. And one of the things about vegetables is they're really good for satiation. So when you're trying to eat healthy, the big thing is you might eat a healthy meal but be left with cravings. Nobody wants cravings. We want to eat healthy but also feel satiated. I think throwing mushrooms in the eggs it's a great way to do that. Asparagus. This one's cool just because it makes your pee smell very, very strongly, in fact. But now this is just a good way to spice up a meal. Again, I have the protein, but mixing things up in a cool way, these are gonna be good for that. I mean, check this out, man. This could be a thumbnail. That's hilarious. Hopefully this inspires you to eat some vegetables. Carrots. Now carrots have a really special place in my heart because they're my first vegetable, my first love. And whether or not you like carrots, they're probably the most mundane's a bad word. They're probably the most simple vegetable, I would say. I don't know how you dislike them, really, but check these out. Imagine that with some beef. Especially what I was doing before is I would make beef, put it into a bowl, and then I would put a mixture of vegetables. Come on, dude. Can't complain. And then lastly, apples. We love apples. Apples I eat with my breakfast. And breakfast is easy to eat healthy. You just make eggs, vegetables, and fruit. And that's really the theme with my meals is you have your core protein, and then everything else around it is just used to make it tasty and make it satiating. But what I alluded to earlier in the video was I hate eating food but then feeling drowsy. And it seems as though, I need to experiment further with this, but it seems as though eating healthy can kind of keep that focus and energy going further. And that is definitely something that I want, and that's what I'm trying to experiment with. But if I don't have the vegetables, then how am I going to do that? So I went out and got the vegetables. So I hope this was fun to watch. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't. But go get some vegetables so that you can be healthy as well, and we can all be healthy together. Thank you to Nick Angelo for inspiring this.